Sunrise marks the beginning of what I like to call the hour of heroes. If you truly want to take control of your life, you must learn to own the earliest hours of the day. Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning gives your mind a rare opportunity to focus deeply. At that hour, distractions are almost non-existent. Your body feels refreshed, and your productivity can reach its highest level. The real heroes are the people who wake up early, say, Ya Nasib, and begin working toward their goals while the world is still asleep. Think about this. While you were sleeping, somewhere in the world, someone else is awake, building the future they dream about. Later, people see the celebration of their success, but very few ever see the struggle behind it, the effort, the sacrifice, and the discipline. The point here is not the suffering. The point is the effort. Because destiny rewards those who put in the work. Right now, this video is being published at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning, without worrying whether it will be watched or not. Why? Because I personally know the power of waking up early. I have experienced the benefits of starting the day before everyone else. For me, waking up late has always felt uncomfortable. Unless I'm sick, I almost never remember getting out of bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. On the days when I wake up early and start working immediately, those days feel incredibly satisfying. Some people claim they are night people. Maybe that's true for a few individuals. But generally speaking, human beings function best when they live in harmony with nature. Wake up with the sun and go to sleep under the stars. The sun should not rise while you are still in bed. Consider this video a challenge. If you seriously apply what is being discussed here, your life can change dramatically. I speak with confidence because I have personally experienced the results. You know those things you've been postponing for months? The goals you keep delaying because you say you don't have time. Early mornings eliminate those excuses. First, let's talk about the psychological effect. When you wake up early, you experience a certain sense of relief and accomplishment. There is a popular expression called "eat the frog," which means completing your most difficult task first. When you wake up early, you essentially eat that frog at the beginning of the day. Once you finish your most important work early in the morning, the rest of the day feels easier. Even if the rest of your day becomes unproductive, you still feel calm because you know you already handled the most important task. Most people already know the advice about waking up at 5 a.m., but they forget it over time. Sometimes hearing it again reminds us of what we already know, but haven't practiced. The reality is that our mental energy is limited. Throughout the day, our attention is constantly being drained by work, social media, news, notifications, and conversations with other people. By the afternoon, our brain is often exhausted. But at 5 a.m., the mind is still fresh. It's one of the best moments of the day to focus on something meaningful. Of dawn helps your brain produce more. Of dawn helps your brain produce more dopamine and serotonin. The result is simple. You naturally enter a flow state where your mind feels clear, energized, and focused. When I wake up before sunrise, I'd like to open the window and breathe in the fresh air. The silence of the early morning, combined with the sound of birds, creates a sense of calm that is difficult to describe. In those moments, life simply feels more meaningful. Most people are not willing to wake up at 5 a.m., and that is actually good news for you. If you are willing to do something that most people avoid, you immediately gain a powerful advantage. Real improvement does not come from occasional bursts of motivation. It comes from small actions repeated every day. Imagine improving yourself by just 1% every day. Over time, those small improvements create massive results. Psychologist Anders Ericsson explained that mastery in any field usually requires several hours of focused practice every day for many years. If you dedicate 2 or 3 of your most productive hours every morning to developing a skill, the long-term results can be extraordinary. Another reason mornings are powerful is emotional clarity. Sigmund Freud once said that emotions that remain unexpressed do not disappear. They simply remain buried and eventually appear in other ways. The silence of early morning gives you space to think about your life, your decisions, and your emotions. Many of the reactions we have today are shaped by experiences from childhood. The quiet hours of the morning give you time to understand yourself better. However, waking up at 5 o'clock alone is not enough. If you wake up early and immediately start scrolling through social media, you have simply sacrificed sleep for nothing. Avoid opening your phone right after waking up. That is where the real distraction begins. Instead, you can follow a structure similar to the 20-20-20 rule introduced by Robin Sharma. The first 20 minutes should be dedicated to movement. Do some form of exercise that makes you sweat. Physical movement helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone, and activates your brain. The next 20 minutes should be for reflection. Think about your goals, your mistakes, and what truly matters in your life. Writing your thoughts in a journal can be extremely powerful. And the final 20 minutes should be focused on growth. Read books, study psychology, learn from biographies of successful people, or watch educational content. Use that time to expand your knowledge. Of course, this structure is flexible. You can adjust it according to your own lifestyle. Just as the first hour of your day is important, the last hour of your evening is equally critical. Many people today struggle with sleep because of excessive screen exposure. The blue light from phones and computers reduces melatonin, the hormone responsible for sleep. Try turning off technology earlier in the evening. Spend that time reading, relaxing, or talking with loved ones. Aim to go to bed before 11 p.m. so that waking up early becomes easier. Sleep also follows cycles of about 90 minutes. If you wake up in the middle of one of these cycles, you will feel much more tired. Finally, remember that growth requires balance. Just like farmland needs time to rest between harvests, humans also need recovery. Constant work without rest does not produce the best results. Find a meaningful reason to wake up early. People who have something exciting to work toward rarely need an alarm clock. There is a simple truth in life. Choosing the easy path often makes life harder. Choosing the difficult path often makes life easier in the long run. Imagine what you could achieve in those quiet morning hours. You could study, read an entire book, exercise, or work toward your goals. Just 2 or 3 focused hours each morning can bring you significantly closer to your dreams. So ask yourself this: what are you doing with the time you already have? Many people say they don't have enough time, but often the real problem is not time. It is how we choose to spend it. If you truly want more time, you must be willing to sacrifice distractions, endless scrolling, unnecessary conversations, or hours of entertainment. The truth is simple. We actually have enough time. We just don't always use it wisely. I'm not saying this as empty motivation. I say it because I've personally experienced it. If you are satisfied with your life exactly as it is, you can continue sleeping. But remember this: anything truly valuable requires effort. And sometimes, the first step toward that effort begins at 5 o'clock in the morning.